wrestled real well there in the finals. Two of the other three that we lost in overtime. Salazar lost in overtime to Bennett's that he's wrestled, I think, for the third time this year. They've brawled. I mean, every match that they wrestle is always close. So, tough loss for Salazar, but he'll rebound from it. And then Zach Slotin lost to number 4 ranked kid from Cal Baptist, Jacob Waste, and lost in overtime as well. And so we'll work on some things there as well. But Zach Slotin came in the number 6 seed and wound up beating number 3 and beating number 2 on the way to the finals. So, overall, I thought we wrestled pretty well. If you'd have told me we'd have had 6 in the semis and 5 in the finals and placed 7 guys in the top 3, I would have said last week we could win the tournament with that. As we were wrestling throughout the day and go over, and after a round and a half, you go over and look at the scoreboard, we're down 20 points. It was kind of, just could never catch up after that. Some of those other schools got a few more bonus points, and sometimes that's how it works in a tournament. If they have a few other matches in that first opening round than we do, then next thing you know, you're behind. And we put more guys in the finals than anybody else. We had 5 in the finals, and Cal Baptist had 4, and Western had 3. We could have had 5 champions and still not been able to catch up in that tournament. It's just the nature of the tournament. But we'll be okay. Come regionals and nationals, I think we'll be okay. And we've got a good, tough core there, and just got to get a few more points out of some of our other guys. At 133s, we've got to score a few points there. That'll help us too. So, overall, wrestled pretty well. No injuries. That was the biggest thing about this tournament. That we pretty healthy after this tournament, and kind of get ready to travel to California this week. Well, I think the setting of the tournament was good. The Olympic Training Center was a good venue to have it at. I think a couple of the drawbacks is maybe it was on a Sunday. Another drawback is it snowed like crazy Sunday afternoon and Monday. So, the trip back, I think, was 9 hours back from Colorado Springs. So to get in 5 a.m. yesterday morning, it's going to make it a long week this week. But it's the nature of the beast when you travel in the winter. I know winter sports are that way, and it's just the way it goes. As far as the overall tournament, it was good for wrestling. I think, we'll continue to do it. I think we'd like to, as coaching head coaches from other schools, we'd like to change a few things up, maybe not have some of the long breaks that we have during the day where we can actually get out of there, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever, or maybe start the finals at 2 or 3, however that results. But, some long breaks there that I think are not needed. When you look at our sport, we have 16 dates and you actually have 3 or 4 at home. That means you're traveling 12, 13 other times, so to get out of a decent time is always nice to get back, get the guys in school and all that. And so I think we just worked out some of those kinks. I think it was a good tournament, no doubt. I think it's good for the sport of wrestling, and I think we just got to clean up a few things there. Well, the thing is if we were to actually have that regional tournament 2 weeks before, and you had somebody with a sprained ankle or something, we'll hold out individual guys in duels that are maybe get ticky-tack injuries in that. And if you had that RMAC tournament 2 weeks before and you had a kid with a rolled ankle or a shoulder injury, you'd hold them out just because the regional is, it's a good tournament. You want to show up with your best team, but ultimately you want to have national qualifiers and All-Americans. And you can win all the RMACs you want at wrestling, but if you don't have a chance to wrestle in that regional tournament or the national tournament, that's your ultimate goal. So I think a lot of coaches, I don't think you get as much out of the RMAC tournament if you go in later than it is. If you went, like I said, example, 2 weeks before the regional, a lot of other sports may be able to get away with that. Your softballs and in any of those other sports, but with it being such a a combative sport, and just and we just deal with a lot of injuries during the year. In the beginning, this is really the best team that we put out on the mat this weekend, and we still have some guys out, Randy Borner and Jesse Hofschneider in there that we don't know where they're going to be at in a couple of weeks. But really, for us to have all of our upper weights, this is a first for us this year that we've had, just because of the nature of the beast and the injuries we had in the fall. So hopefully we're healthy, and bottom line, it is what it is here in a couple of weeks. You know, just trying to get Jesse back and see where we're going to be at with that position. You know, Nick Swanson's doing a good job there. Jesse would have went into that tournament the #1 seed, and with Nick Swanson, you know, some of the competition he's had this year, went in with the #1 seed as well. Nick didn't have a great first match, wound up dropping the first match, and then came all the way back and got third. So, you know, we just want to get those guys healthy, and then we'll make the calls there. I mean, you know, kind of see what happens there. Randy Warner at 174s, you know, will probably be our guy this weekend. Just kind of, he just needed a couple weeks, kind of get things under control there a little bit. And I don't know if it was physical injuries or mental injuries with him, you know. So we'll see about Randy. We've got to get him going and see where he's at. So, but I think he gives us the best chance to win at 174s. I mean, he's a returning All-American, took second in the regional last year. And I think at this time, he gives us the best chance to win at 174s.